Good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, Mayor Gloria could not be with us this morning. He is on his way north to sign an important piece of legislation that he's been advocating for on behalf of the city with Governor Newsom regarding the care court. And you'll be hearing more about that later today. But our announcement right here at home is a top priority for both him and the city council. And so he asked me to take the lead for this event, and I'm proud to do so. Today, I'm joined by my council colleague, Councilmember Jennifer Campbell from District 2, and Sheldon Wolpoff, a resident of this community who lives right here on Limerick Avenue. Also with us are our City San Diego Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Chris McFadden, Engineering and Capital Projects Director, Rania Amen, and Transportation Director, Jorge Riveros, and members of their teams. We are gathered here to celebrate a long-awaited infrastructure improvement here in the Claremont community. As we stand here on Limerick Avenue, I think we can all recognize there's quite a bit of road work to do. Fortunately for the Claremont residents who live here, the clock starts now. And it's not just here. Across the city, there are miles of streets that need repairs, not to mention sidewalks, streetlights, and more. Historically, San Diego is underinvested in its infrastructure and the workforce to maintain it. Yet we know that a safe, well-maintained infrastructure is critical to our public health, quality of life, and economic opportunity. It impacts our daily lives, not to mention the associated cost to our vehicles and overall pride in our neighborhoods. Timely repairs are necessary. Today, we are here to kick off reconstruction of Limerick Avenue, and this project will kick off a cluster of street resurfacing projects taking place over the next few months. The construction contract we are breaking ground on here today includes several segments included in Mayor Gloria's Sexy Streets program, which sets aside $40 million to deliver badly needed improvements to 54 miles of major thoroughfares throughout the city. This contract is one of many that the city is deploying to not only implement the Sexy Streets program on roadways like Convoy, Carmen Mesa Boulevard, and Ruffin Road, but also to address other high-priority street repairs such as Limerick Avenue. This is a never-ending process, and there will always be more to do. In the meantime, we should absolutely celebrate the wins as they come, and that's why we're here today. Finding solutions to address our infrastructure needs is a long and difficult process, and I want to thank Mayor Gloria and my colleagues on the council for diligently working together for the long-term improvement of our city. As Budget Committee Chair, I was closely involved in the city's budget process for fiscal year 2023 and was glad to see the mayor include in his budget an unprecedented investment with the largest ever allocation to capital improvements. San Diegans can look forward to $8 million to improve streets with upgraded traffic signals, sidewalks and curb ramps, traffic management, tree maintenance, and graffiti and weed removal. The capital improvements budget also dedicates more than $77 million to street resurfacing, an increase of $27 million over the previous budget. These projects would not have a chance of getting completed without the numerous city employees with our transportation and engineering and capital projects departments and the workers employed by the companies we contract with. Thank you to each of you for your hard work and dedication. I'd also like to thank the Claremont community for your tireless advocacy for your neighborhood. It has been a long journey for all of us. I'm very well aware of that. And today is a prime example of community members and local government working together to improve the city that we all love. With that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Councilmember Jennifer Campbell from District 2.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just delightful to be here. Claremont is my home neighborhood, and I'm so delighted that in redistricting, all of Claremont is now united, and all of it will be in my district in the coming year. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm so happy that the mayor has given us a really new and good plan on how to fix our streets. We've waited an awful long time, and so here we are. And I want to say also the state legislature has been very generous to us lately also. We've gotten $2 million grant for the South Claremont Rec Center. We've gotten $4.5 million to help with the remodeling of the OB library, and also $8.5 million to get us started on our plans to redo the OB Pier. So that's just some of what's going on in District 2, and it's a wonderful thing. And we're grateful to all our state representatives as well as our city representatives and city staff. And I'm so grateful to the Walpole family that lives right here, God love them, and have put up with this street for so long. So I'd like to introduce our neighbor, Sheldon Wolpoff, who will give us a few words here. Thank you, Sheldon.
Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to thank Mayor Gloria and his staff for making this day finally become a reality. In particular, I would like to express my appreciation for Michaela, who's become a regular pen pal, and also the engineering team, Aveen, Janice, Chris, and Jared, for all their help. They've made the difference. In what has been a very trying and frustrating number of years, I did get to meet some nice people from the city, as well as many terrific neighbors. My thanks go out to all our neighbors who were also trying everything they could think of to make this happen. And to those who shared words of encouragement for my efforts, even when we weren't seeing any concrete progress, pun intended. We have been working for years to have the street repaved. Around 2017, when Limerick Avenue was slurried south of Peyton Place, I asked the street department why they stopped just a few blocks short of the north end. The answer I received was that our street was in such worse condition that it wasn't included in that project. It made no sense to me that knowing just how much worse our street was, they would allow it to deteriorate even further. Later, our neighbor Tony and I met with Councilman Kate to seek his assistance. Eventually, we were able to connect with the mayor's office. As anyone who has driven this far up Limerick Avenue knows, it has been in horrendous condition for a long time. People falling, including myself, cars sustaining damage, hazards for bicyclists, dangers for children, being impassable for people in wheelchairs. These are just a few examples of what we have been experiencing. After so many years of sending in photos, videos, petitions, emails, and phone calls, I am so grateful we found someone in the mayor's office, Michaela, who ended up listening to our situation even when we felt no one really was. Again, thank you very much to Mayor Gloria and his staff for getting us to this day. Hopefully, we finally will have a street worthy of America's finest city.
All right, so with that, it is time to fire up the truck and grind down this terrible street. So we're gonna count down from 5, everybody. We'll get going, ready? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.